Checking the audio. 1, 2, 3. Da, da, da. Haven't done that in a long ass time. Hello, friendos. So it's been a minute. I feel like I don't have to explain, like, any person that puts out things, like why there's been a weird stunting in their creative juices lately. I haven't put out a thing here, or really on YouTube at all, since October with that Rick Ocasek tribute. I was really hot on that trail of new fully involved material coming at your brains, and then I fell into a 4-month pit of on and off existential despair, separated only by talking to new friends on Discord. So that's where I've been at. Hello, how are you? Though there might be some people watching me for the first time here because, and the reason why I'm doing this video here, I got featured on a freaking podcast. Now, I have guested on a couple other podcasts. Shout out one time to Sly Dog Music Cast. I talked about Springsteen and Jethro Tull, near and dear subjects to my heart, on a couple episodes with that guy. In this case, I feel like it's worth putting on here because it actually is about the fully involved stuff. And I know what you're saying, guys. Mark, it's been over a full-ass year since participation trophies, available on fullyinvolvedmusic.bandcamp.com and on all popular streaming services, came out. And I'm fully aware, Mark, that you have these stickers that there are still about 10 left of in the store that you were initially going to pass out at open mics before that stopped being a thing. I'm fine. Stevia, save us all. Why talk about your music now when you have nothing 2020 to promote to the world? And to that, sir, I say I have been playing IG live shows where I've been playing the 5 new songs I have right now, so hush. Fully Involved was talked about on a podcast from The Hard Times. The Hard Times, of course, being this dumb little upstart satire thing. They're trying to be on whatever. You know, I never really had any attachments, but, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I can give these guys the boost they need, I guess. If I flip to a freaking random page here, breaking singer Billy Joel quits Green Day. Male-fronted hardcore band proves that guys can rock too. Basic. Actually, no, in hindsight, I learned from my now most viewed video that facetiously dunking on people I don't know is probably not the best branding idea for this channel. That's a whole other rabbit hole. God, rate your music, people suck. But yeah, in contrast to what you might associate with a Hard Times podcast, this podcast here, Fanboys, is actually about serious music discussion. Back in May, I believe, they sent out a tweet saying, hey, random underground artists, send in your stuff and we'll probably talk about it on this podcast. You know, I'd heard them promoting it here and there, and it sounded cool, so I just shot him a Bandcamp link. Not really any particular EP, but I was like, hey, I got EPs for a couple of the criteria that you're listing here. Feel free, go nuts. So that'll add an extra layer of surprise, an intrigue to when I give this thing a listen. I don't know what they're going to be talking about, though that said, the description of the episode does talk about slide guitars. I only have 2 songs that involve that, one of which is not on my Bandcamp because they're really freaking stupid about covers, and the other is the title track from Participation Trophies. I mean, I guess it would logically make sense they'd pick the latest release, so let's see if they go with that. For the record, I have listened to a couple episodes of this podcast, and I do really, really enjoy it. It basically fits into my personal favorite subgenre of podcasts, of just funny people talking about music, like dorks, for way too long in a way that pisses off fans of the actual band in the iTunes reviews for taking too long to get to it and going on too many gloriously amazing side tangents that they can't appreciate because they're uncultured heathens. Basically, the whole gist of it is that they listen to at least 30 seconds of the artist they're given, just total going in blind, and just have to say something positive about them. As someone that has been a reviewer here and there, as a guy with a journalism degree that I'm definitely putting to good use right now, hush, don't even talk about soft skills, everyone. I am fully ready for anything constructive that might come from this. So with that out of the way, I have the podcast skipped to about 5 minutes in. I will say I'm not going to be playing the entire segment here. I'm basically just going to be leaving in clips that I'm like directly reacting to, and then the rest I would recommend you actually listen to the full episode because I haven't heard the rest of the episode yet, but I'm sure that the rest of it is going to be just fantastic. So with that out of the way, let's play this freaking thing. Fanboys, guitar solos, hard and flaccid, Monday, ba-bam.
All right, so the very first band that we have for you today is called Fully Involved, and they sent us a song called Participation Trophies.
Okay, so that's confirming my little fanboy theory right there. That at least tells me that they went to at least midway into the song past the bridge, which is already a good sign. I gotta be honest. You know, from the stuff I've heard, I haven't really heard them talk about any like singer-songwriter-y type stuff. That was one of the types of music that the Hard Times tweet was appealing to in their thing. So I feel like their taste might be eclectic enough to fit the kind of bands they parody in these things with the sad boy singer-songwriter stuffs with some synth and slide guitar inflections. We'll see. And ba-bam.
Fucking millennials.
It's called facetiousness. It's called using those terms that are used against us by the boomer establishment to flip it back on them to make commentary about the public education system. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Don't you just love being underwhelmed first thing in the morning?
No, shut up. Shut up.
Safer ways to find my niche. Like how oh, I hear that's already a fantastic sign right there.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to go up a bit here.
Okay.
Yeah, it went somewhere.
I'm hearing a lot of passive all right, and I know I know what that implies, but I'm curious where they're gonna go with it.
That's the saddest guitar solo.
My favorite part of that is that the part that they skipped to was like right when it was getting into the descending part. So yeah, when you start at that point, it does sound like the saddest shit ever. I understand that. It does go with more of a, you know what? I can't hate on it. It just came right in, and I can see from their perspective. Fair enough.
Is it just me? Or
no.
A slide guitar solo one of the funniest things that you can ever do?
That slide guitar solo was the funniest thing he could have done.
You know what? In hindsight, maybe I should have pointed them directly to Insolence. I feel like that might have been the better track. I feel like I kind of tried to hint at it with the tweet there, being like, hey, I got one thing for the singer-songwriter thing. I got one thing for the punk rock that's mad at things. In hindsight, maybe they would have vibed with Attend to You more. Who knows? But, you know, I get it. Like, I feel like even though I'm very proud of both these EPs, this is maybe the more mockable one. I'm aware of that. Because even though I love how it sounds and all that kind of stuff, it is more kind of earnestly sad boyish. So that leaves more target room. And this isn't meant to be like a critics don't understand. They just try to go after the little guy. No, I say this as someone that was a reviewer myself. That is entirely valid. So go off, Kings.
That slide guitar solo sounded like it had been screaming all night and was hoarse.
Yeah, it was.
Full disclosure here, because I never got around to actually editing together the behind-the-scenes making-of vlogs from the making of that EP. I'd had a slide for a while, but I'd never found an excuse to use it. So that was literally the first time I'd ever played a slide. So in hindsight, maybe I should have tried on something else first. I'm aware, but David, you approved it, so it's on you, my guy. You programmed those drums, and you gotta call my shit when I put the yeehaw on top of it. Okay? Okay, that said, I very much look forward to seeing you tomorrow in your new recording space to record a Twitch segment jingle. Okay, moving on.
We talk a lot about choices on this show.
I don't think that was a choice. I think that was lack of execution.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're probably not wrong.
I mean,
You don't choose to be out of tune.
Unless you're a genius.
Or bad.
Am I right?
Thank you. My guy, this is my guy. This is my guy. He gets me. He gets that Fully Involved is an experimental art collective. Just me and all my insecurities together, but that's still a collective. So what if it doesn't sound like a person who knows how to work the yeehaw? Hey, that the Perfection. Okay, I'm gonna stop going any further because people think I'm actually serious with that. That was the problem with that Rate Your Music video, by the way. So clearly have very much learned my lesson from 19 months ago. Okay.
So, okay. I get my nice things out.
It's the okay. That's what really seals it. Getting the nice things out of the way. Okay. That tells me it'll be like a compliment sandwich, but for people like me who can't have a lot of carbs, shout out One Time to Insulin's, my EP about diabetes, where you like take a piece of the bread off and then you cut the remaining ingredients and slice of bread in half and then have like a super tall half sandwich. That's the kind of compliment sandwich this is going to be, and I can accept that.
I liked that this was very straightforward. This is very confessional. We got some first-person lyrics talking about personal struggles. I like that. You're being genuine. You're speaking from your heart, and you're doing it in a very unpretentious way. Got a lot of mountain goats going for you. I like mountain goats. Cool.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I always love being compared to artists that I'd never really listened to before writing the song, because I think that one other friend of mine said that they got a Mountain Goats vibe from this. And granted, I have listened to one Mountain Goats album. There was a listening party where Beat the Champ was the album on there, and I really enjoyed that. I also got a few Bright Eyes comparisons, and I'd never heard a Bright Eyes song, even though I'd like heard about them in the music world through the nerds that I'm surrounded with. But it's just funny when just like these things float around, and the influences are almost done like with like the least amount of awareness possible. A thing influences a thing, and then I hear that thing, or maybe these two are contemporaries, and then I just end up following along with that. So bottom line, I'll take it. Also, I should probably listen to a lot more Mountain Goats because I'll probably find it relatable content.
Having said that, ooh, pitchy.
This is probably the most valid complaint about this song for sure. And it was in a weird spot where like I couldn't put it in like the super low part, and I'm kind of glad they didn't listen to the actual bridge because that's when I really start belting, and that's when it gets especially questionable. So yeah, anything they're gonna say here, I totally get.
I think the writing was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I thought the writing was like super good. I like the lyrics a lot. I appreciate having pitchy vocals sometimes, but it has to be deliberately pitchy in a good way. One of the best examples that I can put out there is like the Front Bottoms.
Oh yeah.
Who just like kind of sing their stuff, and it's like almost on key, and it's like almost on key in a charming way.
I understand that, because maybe if I put like a little more eccentricity into the delivery here, it could have that kind of appeal. Granted, it wouldn't really fit a song like this where it's just so vibey, I guess, whereas Front Bombs are a little, from what I've heard, are a little more kind of neurotic, which maybe I should put more of my own personality in there. Then I could get more of that Front Bottoms appeal.
I did really like the instrumentation, and I like the writing and the instrumentals a lot. Like, I mean, to Edgar, to your point, sure, it was a little, meh. But honestly,
those were my words. You're correct.
Okay, my favorite, I asked if you guys just write out to me the transcription of how that word is spelled, and the second that I get a run of CDs for participation trophies out, I'll put that right on the shrink wrap sticker. No questions asked. Just, Fanboys 2020.
Overall, I still really liked it. I mean, the instrumentals.
Okay.
The main focal point, though, were the vocals, and that just kind of...
The main vocal point? This is why these guys are hosting a podcast right now, and mine's been on hiatus for 2 years. Anyway.
I gotta say, what I'm gonna focus on is the guitar solo still. It was just...
Should we try to go back and find that?
No, I don't want it.
Okay.
I
don't
need less
want
of
it.
that in my life, yeah.
Okay.
But here, I'm gonna go.
okay,
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the sounds, and Diego put something in any key behind it.
Oh no!
And this is what that sounds like to me.
What is that? Is that a cat in heat?
No, not quite like that. Yeah, it was a little bit cat in heat. Yeah. Anyway, it was just sad and droopy sounding. It sounds like all the plants in my house look.
I mean, sad and droopy is kind of the feeling that I had when I wrote the song, so mission fucking accomplished. I did write this the week that I decided to drop out of college for a year. Sadly, riding the Sprinter train in Oceanside docks me while wistfully looking out the window, listening to Car Seat Headrest, rambling things into the notebook I'd had for one of those classes about what I wanted to say to my dad. So not far off is what I'm saying. This is the end result that we all could have asked for.
Yeah, that solo was recorded under duress.
Yeah, with a gun held to their, like, they were very unsure about
No,
that.
I don't know about that. Just because otherwise
Play
we're
the
like,
You know what? In a way, we did have a really strict time window. We only had like 2 days a week and like 5 hours a day for like a summer vacation. So that probably was like, we maybe could use a couple more takes. Quick, let's just yeehaw this shit out, no matter how hard the yee gets.
lot of vibrato on there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and in all fairness, maybe I thought that vibrato would automatically translate to sounding proficient. There, that's the confession that you wanted out of me.
There's a lot of good ideas in this song. I particularly like rhythm of the vocal line. That just kind of like waltzy, dreamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool hook. And
Thanks.
like you're clearly trying for a melody.
I did appreciate the fact that it was a slide guitar solo. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was cool. It would have been cool.
You know what? I do wonder what they would have thought. What they would have thought about the solo in the last minute, where it gets a little more arpeggio-y, a little more beach housey. You know, I just burped through my nose there. I don't know how audible this makes this. DIY artists.
Yeah, just learn to play slide guitar first.
Maybe I did by the time I put out that Lil Nas X cover. I don't know. And that time it was a joke, so you can't criticize me for that one. Wink.
Glove has been dropped. Your move, fully involved, but thank you so much for submitting. Let's move on to the next band.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate that a lot. I gotta be honest, I've done reaction videos to reviews before. I like being dunked on a little. I think that adds a little fun to the discourse, you know, especially in something like this where I did put that choice out there and it's just right for the picking. I'm aware of it. I know that I'm not gonna like ask them to put another song of mine on the show, but I do want to know how like Insolence would hit them, or even like if for just a second on participation trophies. Because this song, like, while I am immensely proud of it, I still play it in live sets and stuff. I do understand the flaws. I no ill will about them picking them out and just making fantastic content out of it, which at the end of the day is what we all want. So thank you to you guys for doing that. Any exposure I get from this, I will be freaking honored. And I do want to put more videos up on this channel, by the way, and I like that this gave me kind of an excuse. Again, over a year after the fact, so I don't really have anything to promote, but maybe I'll work out some janky home demo style covers at some point. I already have a few in mind, and I'll just slam that yeehaw into every single one of them, no matter how much it works, just to appeal to the fanboys that were introduced to me through this. I gotta keep up that brand. I'll put a link in the description to the episode. Listen to the whole thing. There's parts of it that I cut out of here for time, and of course, thanks to you guys for giving me the time of day with that. But yeah, hopefully this will kickstart some new content motivation on my end following that sad Instagram update. Follow me on TikTok in the meantime, and yeah, stream participation trophies on Spotify and Bandcamp. And one more time, and